All right, I'll call this meeting to order. The start of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First, did everyone look at the minutes from March 11th? Any changes or corrections?
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting on March 11th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of the general fund vouchers 76577 through 76631. Wire transfers 181-90396 through 181-90442. And activity fund vouchers 9474 through 9504.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the general fund vouchers and wire transfers and activity fund vouchers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Public comments on the agenda items. You guys got something back there? No? I see you signed in, that's all.
I'm signed in. What's next?
Okay. Next, spotlight on education, Herb Cole recipient recognition.
Okay, so I'm going to have Mr. Gill share on this, but we had a student, unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but was a recipient of the Herb Cole Award, which is a pretty neat honor. So I'll let Mr. Gill speak to it.
I had the honor to go over to Chippewa Falls Middle School on Sunday the 31st of March with Abby Warner and her family, and she received a $10,000 Herb Cole Excellence Scholarship. That's based on scholarship, leadership, citizenship, school and community involvement. So I'd like to, and from the board, congratulate Abby for a great job and receiving the $10,000 scholarship.
Pretty neat award. You guys met Abby when she's our valedictorian here in the school. So she was at a previous meeting.
Okay.
Got her French you.
Yeah, any other notes? Who are her parents? Nick.
Paul's brother, the farm's just down the road. I can't think of his
Charlie?
name. Charlie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. The next item of business is the visual arts competition recognition.
Okay, so that I had Miss Waterman come in, and she's going to speak to that.
Yeah. Actually, we have a bunch of projects if you guys want to get up and look. Otherwise, I'll hold them up real quick. But the month of March was Youth Art Month, and we celebrated by putting on display about 45 pieces of artwork at WITC in New Richmond. I had about 40 pieces of artwork at Northern Lake Center for the Arts in Amory, Wisconsin. Both had opening receptions as well in March. I brought with me Kylie here. Kylie is my art club president, and she has had artwork at WITC and Northern Lake Center for the Arts. She also earned her way, as well as, how many people are on our team? 11 others, to state for Visual Arts Classic competition. So she's going to talk about her project, but I'll kind of give you a rundown. Visual Arts Classic, I take a team of 12 students who, in about October, November, they can sign up for categories such as painting, drawing, ceramics, sculptures, video, digital photography, even traditional photography. And once we register our team, they send us a prompt. So for example, the one that I'm holding right now is the art history prompt, and it was create a mosaic using only beans and rice. So this year, the theme was back to the basics. Some years it's very specific, must be this size, must use these colors, or go according to the artist George Seurat and base your picture off of that. So this one is Lizzie Gruhovic's, and she created in the style of one of our artists on the list, Kathy Kolowitz. So So she did like a mother and child, but in her explanation card, she connected it to the loving relationship between her and her younger sister. So these little explanation cards, really kind of dig into a lot more depth into the projects. But while we're there, we take these long-term projects to Stout, where they get judged and scored. And then as a team, they participate in a quiz bowl. Pretty intense questions based off of 12 artists that they have to research prior to going. And then they participate in a critical thinking, which all of them hate because it puts them on the spot. And then they absolutely love it when it's all done. They have to create a skit. And we don't know what the skit's about. They're just told to bring scraps of paper, markers, cutting supplies, and tape. And they have to kind of create their own costumes, their own props in about an hour and a half. And they have to create a skit. I'm not sure, what was the skit this year? Do you remember?
We had to base a story about the artists on a TV show basically. So some people did The Office. We did Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Mm-hmm. And they don't know what this is, so there's no way to prep before they go to it. So it's kind of like a destination imagination. I am proud to say though that our team kicked butt at Quiz Bowl. They received first place. They received second place in critical thinking. They calculate all of their scores between long-term. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they do also participate in an on-site project, so it's something very similar to this, but they're not given the prompt ahead of time. So they show up, they're given a new prompt that says, create this project, based off of this, artist or theme or something like that, and they're given 2 hours to create a project on site. So they have accumulated all of their points on long-term on-site quiz, earning first place in Quiz Bowl, second place in critical thinking, and the whole team earned over 200 points as what they label as regional champs in the art world. And the whole team advances on to state. So which means we bring down our long-term projects again, we participate in new on-site projects, they get a whole new round of Quiz Bowl and critical thinking. And state this year is at UW-Madison. We leave Thursday, hopefully not in a snowstorm. Yikes. But these are some of the other projects. Drawing, they had to create a dynamic drawing, something in motion. And honestly, all of these ones that I brought in received first place rating on their project alone, which means they received either 18, 19, or 20 points. Weston's, I'm going to leave here, he had to create a pinch pot tea set. So he could not throw on the wheel, he could not use coils, he had to pinch pot, create everything out of pinch pot. So he made cute little lids and handles, and he had to determine himself what was a set, what kind of pieces, would the judges consider to be a set. There was no recommendations, which made it interesting because I was talking with some of the judges at regionals, and they're like, well, I think a set should include at least this, this, and this. Luckily, he included what those judges thought the set needed to be. Kylie, on the other hand, she's going to talk about hers. She had a unique category, video, which I knew nothing about, so she was completely running solo, teaching herself all about this prompt.
All right, so I'm Kylie. This is my 3rd year at BAC, and this year my project was I had to create a traditional animation, like the old Disney styles. So I took tons of pieces of paper and did each movement a different drawing. And then at the end of it, I had to compile it into a video format and put music over it. And I used speech bubbles inspired by comic strip type styles. Yeah, I think that overall I got gold on site and my long term. On site, I had to create a flip book with sticky notes. And I think that overall VAC is a really, really great opportunity because there's not many other ones around here for art-based opportunities, I guess, and it's really great that we get to participate in VAC.
it's beyond your typical art show.
Yeah.
You know, because the kids really, when they're given those prompts on site, I can't help them. They have to really dig into their own creative nature and figure things out on their own. So it's a really cool thing to see on hand. So thank you for letting us show off our
Yeah,
work.
thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good
We're
luck to
going
your team.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs.
Hopefully
Waterman.
they'll make it down there.
Yeah.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
you bet. You guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, the next item of business then, and the new business is the approval of the high school kitchen protective flooring.
Okay. You can see the quote in there. This has been discussed the last couple of years. The kitchen floor here at the high school has been in need of repair. We decided, I believe you guys actually might have even approved it last year, but then we decided not to. But again, looking to resurface it. So it's going to, you see the quote, it's TMI coating. It's going to be $22,400. Looking to do that this summer. Out of the fund, it'll be coming out of the Fund 50 balance, which we have enough money to do it. So it seems like it's time to do.
I move to approve the high school kitchen protective flooring.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the protective flooring bid. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Next item of business is the approval of the utility tractor purchase.
Okay, so it's a little confusing. If you look at the quote, so we're looking at replacing our utility tractor here that we have at the high school. We use it at both buildings. The quote in it has trading in both tractors, but we're not going to. We're only trading in one. What's that?
The little one.
The 2000 Kubota. So if you look at the second page. Yep, second page of the quote. Do I have that crossed out on here? Yeah. Yep. So I crossed out the original one was with the 2015 Kubota on it. We're trading in the 2000. Trading it for, so the total price was $25,900, but we were looking at a trade-in at $9,000. But really will only be $4,500 trade-in. There are a couple pieces that we have that we were putting on it. I believe a broom
A cab.
and a cab. A drop-on cab. What's that?
Snow blower.
And snow blower. Thank you. So we're looking at yeah, 60-inch broom, heated cab, cost of $21,429 with the trade-in.
Was
Okay.
this the only option that they had?
This was the option that we were looking at last year as well.
Okay.
We looked at last year we were looking at as well. We looked at a couple different options, but this was the same as last year as far as the size you're talking.
Well, I'm just wondering why you went John Deere and not Kubota again, or
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure.
they're
Other than
usually the most expensive.
Have we
that's
looked
why.
into leasing it out ever?
we haven't. No.
I know in Richmond they lease all of their mowers and all their equipment.
Do they?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's because they're in Richmond, but I don't know. Then you only deal with it for 3 years and then it's always warranted.
What do they all use that for?
We use it for kind of multiple things, but we mainly we use it for some of the snow removal at this building and at the elementary. So sometimes you'll see them driving back and forth on it. They use it for mowing. They'll use it for sweeping off the sidewalks.
Is that the one they use for marking the fields too?
Yeah, and yep, you're right. The Mark in the Fields one right now is pretty shoddy. It's pretty rough right now. So that was one other thing that this will do is marking the football fields.
So this thing sees quite a few hours.
This one sees a lot. Yep, we get a lot of use out of this one.
probably why a lease wouldn't be a good option. I'm sure there's
I
an
don't know
hours
if you'd
cap
ever
on
be
it.
over. Yeah, but it's usually like 1,000 hours a year.
a lot.
Or that's what my lawnmowers were, and I could never get close to that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion then. If anyone doesn't have anything else they want to add.
I'll move to approve the utility tractor purchase.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the utility tractor purchase with the trade. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item of business is the approval of the 2019-2020 high school student handbook.
Okay. If you saw my notes, no changes other than dates. So I sent you guys that highlight. I printed off one copy just so we didn't waste paper, but the only changes were the dates and the dates and hiring. Yep. Otherwise, it's all identical to roll over for next year.
We're just moving it up from summer. We used to do it late summer and get it printed. And we changed printers this last year to a much nicer looking handbook. So they would like the material earlier. So I was just moving it up and then get it done. Get ordered right away.
Makes sense to get it done
Yeah.
ahead of time.
All right, I'll enter.
I'll move to approve the 1920 high school student handbook.
Second.
It's been properly moved and double seconded that we approve the 2019-2020 high school student handbook. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. The next item of business is the approval of our staff resignations.
Okay, so we have 3 staff resignations. I have all 3 letters in there for you. The first one is Kim Torgerson, who you guys just recently approved for maternity leave. She's going on maternity leave, and she's decided that she's not going to come back, that she wants to be a stay-home mom. This is her second baby and would like to stay home. So she's officially submitted her letter of resignation. The second one is Landon Strilzik, who was hired this year for a special education position. He's been in communication with Mr. Gillis and myself throughout the year, kind of deciding whether or not education is right for him, and ultimately decided that he wants to leave education. This was his first year teaching, and decided that he wants to go in a different direction. And lastly, which I was hoping she'd forget to write us a letter of resignation, was Mrs. Schieffer. She's Mary Schieffer. She's a 4th grade teacher. She's one of the best in the business. She's taught here for 30 years, and she's going to be a huge loss to the district. But I'm very happy for her that she's retiring.
It's really sad when the kids say she's going to be a huge loss.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys
The
are
third
smart.
graders are all very sad.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll move to approve the staff resignations.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the staff resignations. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes with many thanks.
Are you
the
going to go ahead
dedication.
and post all of these positions, or are we going to shift?
Yep, we're going to post 2 of them tomorrow. We're posting one of those tomorrow. We have an elementary one that we are posting. I'm sorry. The speech and language one is getting posted next week. Tomorrow, the special ed one is getting posted along with the ag one. And Mrs. Schieffer's, we are not posting at this time yet. We're still working on the staffing and how that's going to play out as far as numbers.
When do they have to resign by per se, or what's standard issue per se?
For if you're retiring,
Right.
that April 15th.
April 15th. Okay.
And are you back to egg? I thought we were interviewing for that.
We interviewed it, but closed it, and then we decided that we were going to repost it, just do the timeline, and with both Mr. Weiss and Mr. Dippery, we were in a really good
To
place
get it
with
at a
2
good
veterans.
break.
Yep.
Well, we want to
End of the
hit
year.
that graduating pool that's coming out of
Right.
college
Right.
Yep.
in May, so we want to post now so they're looking for jobs and just get a little bigger school.
Yeah, so mid-year.
Okay. So then we'll move on to our next item of business, the review of board policies and bylaws.
Okay. Could we?
Yes, we can.
I'm just going to say, should we table that till the end? Or do you want to, well, we can go through it right now, I guess. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, so I sent you guys a Google Doc, and then I've just printed off the directions too. And if you have your kernel book and you want to follow along, great. And if not, doesn't matter. So I put on the first slide, you guys just all have your username and passwords, which once you get in there, you're going to want to change your password. And I'll just walk you through it.
We're not power. Now we gotta get password.
So this is the plan for the policies. My hope is to have us go through all of them by June and have it, then you guys can approve them all as a lump, as a whole by June, and they'll be ready to implement for the fall, or even the summer, I guess I should say. So really my intention or I guess my hope for you guys when you go through them is just to look through them and to see if there's any like changes that you'd like to see, or if there's a policy that you want to talk about. And I feel like there's too many to have like a special meeting and go through them unless you guys wanted to, but it would take us a couple hours, I think, to go through. So on that first page is just the Neola link, the www.boarddocs.com. Then that takes you to this site. Sorry.
Should have used a few more pieces of paper to give us directions, Josh.
I know.
It's just thinking we should show them how to shrink a screenshot.
HDMI jack.
Yeah, I don't send it to my regular email. So,
I do too, and it's too big that I can't even find it.
yeah, well, yeah. God, it's something I think.
You ready to show up?
No, I'm not gonna do that after this policy.
Policy first draft cleanup.
After that. Did you?
Good, how about you, Skip?
Do you get anything? Contact your domain admin for help.
How's the little one?
He's doing good so far, I guess.
Really?
We gotta go back to the hospital on Thursday and Friday to get him checked over again with some kind of new scan thing that finds any more spots if he has any more spots.
Let's see.
So,
He's still in like a
And
cast?
then it's at the clinic.
well, he's
where you're
supposed to be,
done
but I've been
already.
taking him
Yeah.
out of it.
Right?
He hasn't
I don't
worked for
remember.
3 days.
Hey,
Ugh.
I don't exactly
Your-
send myself emails.
your email is
Your first name, period, last name. At
Period?
CL Williams.
Ryan period Munson at CLT.
You have the wrong emails.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm in work mode. Did you get past where it says policy manual first draft, Queen?
No, I don't even know my password to get into this thing.
Oh.
So I have it on, and that's about as far as I can go. Because it's one more password than I can remember.
Is it changed me?
So is this?
No.
Same as your email password.
Yeah, that's set up on my phone, and it's just automatic,
My
so
Chromebook on there if you want.
I have it written down in a safe somewhere. I'm just not sure what that safe place is.
Because I'm on the page.
Are you?
From your link. I found the slideshow that you shared.
Oh, okay. Just don't.
I think it'll be.
If you need this one, you're welcome to it.
Ben?
Ben, my husband.
Oh, yeah.
He's the-
Yeah, he's been too with me.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Where
that
is he
rain
now?
took a bunch
So
of the
you're
frost out, but I went out
probably
probing today, and about 2 feet down, she stops probing.
Yeah.
I bet so.
What?
So I was checking for frost today, and about 2 feet down is where it is,
All over the place?
everywhere in the fields.
Yeah.
I was gonna
That's
take some
not-
fence posts out, but they weren't coming out yet.
Did you try? And now it's just a matter of time with that warm rain that we had.
Yep.
Get a foot or two of snow on it here this
Another
week.
one, yeah.
It's that
Get a
deep,
foot or
though,
two
huh?
of
2
snow
feet down.
coming.
Yeah,
2 feet down is where it starts, yeah.
I'll warm it right up again.
That's why we didn't pull taps yet. We're figuring if it rains, if it snows now this week.
Might run again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the frost still
What are you
down.
doing, soil sampling or?
I want to, I will, but I'm just checking.
That's pretty deep.
No, so you don't
sample
soil
frost.
sample 2 feet down. That's some weird soil sampling you got going on there.
Deep drilling.
You're thinking about oil?
Looking for frac sand.
Is that what you're going for?
We've got that on the farm, but the Jordan layer's under 80 feet of limestone.
Please don't even touch screens.
It's actually under the limestone?
Down by us, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, when I worked at the sand mine in Maiden Rock, it's about 80 feet under the limestone. And then whatever the thickness the overburden is,
Right.
that's a huge hole in the world, that Maiden Rock mine. When I go in there with the quad axle dump truck and we'd haul the tailings back, from the wash plant, and you go back in that mine, sometimes you're back in there 2.5 miles. And when you tip that quad axle up, they're still 20 feet above the box.
Yeah.
And you wonder what's holding it up.
Oh, congratulations on your victory. School board victory.
Yeah,
So you get
Yeah,
four
congratulations.
years before you have to try this again.
You're stuck with
Well,
us
I
again.
just tried it again.
Slideshow's open on here too.
Next time it'll be Nettie and I duking
Too
it
bad
out.
my name was.
I can't believe there's that many people that voted.
I told those people that didn't know they could vote for 2. It says right there.
I know, I'm like, this is gonna end up in a tie.
That's what I thought.
It should have been.
And then
The
clearly
lady
it
at
didn't.
church was saying I was pretty close.
Unless there's some people that absolutely didn't want to vote for
Really?
One of the
somebody.
two of you.
Yeah.
Weird things happen at the voting booths.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So if you go to the link that was on that doc, or if you just type in theboarddocs.com, you'll come up to this. You're going to want to hit enter,
That's as far as I got.
enter the
Yeah.
public site.
We're sitting at the same page.
And then it'll take you this, and this is where you actually have to still log in, even though you're going through that public site. So you're gonna go to this little person, click on that, click login, and then it'll take you to the login page. That's where I gave you all of your logins. So I'll log
What
in
if I
there.
got in here before you and I went and changed your password?
You changed mine?
Is it what if I did?
Are you typing actually in change me right now?
Just interact with it.
Yep, so each one you'll have to actually
Just
type in the word
condition.
change me, and then you can go in there and actually change it once you're in. Okay, so then once you're in, it's kind of clunky right now because of all the drafts and stuff that we've been working on. Once it's cleaned up, I think it'll be pretty nice to access. But right now, this is why I made you the instructions, because you're going to have to go to policies, because there's a bunch of different kinds of policies. So then you click policies, and it's in that Google Doc too that I sent you. You'll want to click draft. And then once you're in the drafts, then you go to this side, and you want to click on first draft.
Clean.
First draft, clean, modified, right? And then-
First draft, clean, modified, second time. Redo 4.
Clean, modified. I think I put it this one, right?
Yeah, it's first draft clean, or the other option is first, or policy
Oh, I'm
manual.
sorry, yep, you're gonna go to the very bottom one. So for you guys, this is the one that you're looking at, the very last one, the policy manual, first draft clean. So these are, right now, these are our policies, but we're still in editing form. So, like, these are the bylaws that you guys have looked at, that we printed off. You just click the plus button, and then it lists all the different policies.
I'll do that one.
Yeah, some of them are funny, just one.
So right now,
Right,
what
that
you guys
one is.
haven't looked at are the 1000s, so you'll click, so I'll just show you, go into the 1000s, we'll click the 1100 policy, the district organization, and then you guys can see, this is actually what the policy will look like. And some of them are extremely short, some of them are really long, just kind of depends on the policy.
So would
So,
you, do
go
we
ahead.
edit in there, or we
You
just
cannot
read?
edit.
Oh.
Yep.
Even
just
if it's a
read.
mistake? I'm not gonna erase
I
anything.
don't believe so. I don't believe you guys have editing rights.
Okay.
You shouldn't.
So just write
So-
anything we see. when we're-
Tested.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is if, when you guys go through this, is to take either
Notes.
like open up a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word or a notepad and paper and just write what the policy number is, the title, and then a concern, or if it's, you just want to look at it and review it as
There
a
it is,
whole.
administration.
Could we just go under Josh Ernst and then password change me, and then go ahead and...
No, I have my own.
He changed the
line.
changed me.
I think that's probably going to be the easiest way. What we're doing as an admin team, we're meeting in 3 weeks or two weeks. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to meet. We're going to go through the first 4 series. So we're going to try to stay kind of 1 or 2 steps ahead of you guys, and then and they're going to do the same thing. We're going to go through it together. If there's any concerns, we're going to either edit it before you or bring it to the board to talk about as well.
So we're done with the bylaws, is that what you said?
Yeah, we looked at the bylaws. Nothing's going to get board approved until the very end. We kind of, when I met with Stu, we talked about, approving each section, and he said most districts don't. He said it gets a little complicated. when
So
you do that.
you've done this with him already, all of this, or not?
Yeah, I've done the whole series with him.
So in your opinion, it's done?
No, I mean, there's still some, there's some, in certain ones that we have to talk to with the counselors. And
Okay.
there's some, minor changes where, just consistency-wide, policies are housed in, or whatever's housed in the, boardroom, and it's not housed in the boardroom in our district, it's housed in the district office, because we don't have really a boardroom. There's little things like that.
Is there a way of, there's state statutes that we can't change some of that? Is there?
There's quite a few policies that we really can't change.
Are they like highlighted, or do we know?
They're
what
not
they are?
highlighted, and
Okay.
if we want a list of all them, it costs us a little more, and we certainly
Okay.
can do that, but what I've been doing.
But we can't, the point is we can't change some of this stuff, right?
Everything in here that states that has to be in here is in here, because him and I have gone through it.
Okay.
He said, well, you have to have this policy. Now, there's also some policies that we don't have to have, but that we have as a district, or that we're recommending. So I guess if there's a policy that you're questioning, I can call them and ask them just to make sure.
That's my question. Be like, well, I don't want to do this one, but you'd be like, well, too bad. It's
Right.
going to be in there now.
So if it's a concern, throw it down there, and I can
Okay.
double check with him to see if we have to have it or not.
That's my question.
Yeah, and please do, because this is the opinion of how many lawyers this go through, Josh?
They're huge. So we made you guys made a huge decision when we were debating between WASB and Neola. WASB is now contracting Neola as they're endorsing them, and then they have a contract with them. So they ended up being the right decision, which was good. And they're out of it's either Ohio or Florida, but they have tons of attorneys. Their support line and their companies are really, I've really appreciated. They've been a huge help, even as something as simple as getting you guys all passwords. I called, they sent me to the support. It took me, just a couple minutes to get that all set up, and they're helping me out over the phone. So it was really nice.
So when you're working with one individual with this, then Josh, is it a lawyer that you're actually working with, or?
No. So the guy that I've been working with, they hire retired superintendents to be their
Consultants.
Yeah, consultants, really. Stu Waller, he's a retired Boyceville. He actually was with like 4 or 5 districts, but his last one was Boyceville. So he's been helping me through just the process of going through each policy, talking about it, telling me what has to be in there, what shouldn't be in there, and then he'll even give me like what most districts do, what he would do, what he wouldn't do. So it's been a really neat experience for me too, to have a veteran superintendent like that's done it for, he's done my position for years, and then he's also, we're his last year actually, so he will no longer be doing consultation work here to the capacity that he's doing it now. So he's done a lot of districts. He was one of the first ones that they hired on to do it. So it's been a neat experience to learn, even some of the history, some of the policies of why they came to be. So here's my thought for you guys, and we can certainly play this by ear and see how it goes, but my hope would be for you guys to go through the 1,000s, 2,000s, and 3,000s by over the next month. And if that ends up being too much, then we can, just shoot me an email if you're feeling that way, and I'll send out an email to everyone and saying, is everyone else feeling this way? And you guys can back off. We don't have to, there's no timeline or anything. My hope was just to get it all done by June. And only because that's when all of the revisions of the policies come out. So if we're done with it by June, then the revisions will come out and they'll automatically be revised, and we won't have to go through some of them individually again.
By June meeting or at June meeting?
At the June.
Yeah, so we get that meeting to talk about the
Yeah.
last section.
Yeah. Is there any questions specific to the program or how it works? No? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut that down, Josh.
Sure.
Okay.
So 1, 2, and 3 by next meeting. Okay.
Did John get a password?
He's got administrative control over the
He's
website.
the only one who can edit.
If he did, I bet it would be change me.
You can come sit on this side of the table then.
All right, then we'll move on to the next item of business. Review and approval of the Canvas Committee.
Okay. So we had a little bit of a hiccup with the numbers that I sent you. We met as a canvassing committee, and we had to kind of wait to finish everything until that Friday because Silent the St. Croix County on their website had put all of the votes in as one, and they weren't broken up into they weren't broken into school districts. Didn't change the outcome, but it did change the numbers. So you'll see on the Cylon the numbers and then the overall total numbers, but the outcome is the same. So we had ultimately, a unique situation with this election, but really Nettie and Ryan just kind of switched seats. So Ryan has a 3-year term, and then Nettie will have the 2 years remaining of that 3-year term.
So it really does make a difference who's on the ballot first then.
I think so.
For sure.
Well, because it looks, like you had mentioned, Ryan, that people don't realize that they can vote for 2 people when
Right.
there's 2 people on the ballot.
Oh,
Perhaps.
good point.
I would agree with you.
Okay, so then we get to approve this. I will entertain a motion.
Can we do it? No.
We'll let you guys do it.
Well, I wasn't in the committee.
Move to approve.
Then I can
You should
second it.
Canvassing
you second
committee.
it maybe, huh?
I'll second it. So it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the canvas committee results. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Oh, thank you.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then now we get to do the official oath of new
Computer
school
was on
board
there.
members.
Can we just read it together?
Can you do it together? Yeah.
Oh no, one at a time.
All right.
Where's the and and
All right, so
It's after the canvas committee. Keep going. There you go.
Don't you have
Come
to
on.
like raise your right hand
do you have them?
They're not new school board members.
Keep going, one more. One more, yeah.
That's not. Yeah, right here, I undersigned have been duly elected.
Have not.
Yep.
Duties therefore.
Thanks.
I swear.
Okay.
So, I'll go.
Action.
How do we do this? Do you guys remember? Do we
You have
just
to
sign
say
it?
it first in 3-word sentences.
Okay. You guys repeat after me then?
Really?
Yep.
I called
Is that how we
WSB,
do
so
it?
they said that we can do it however we want it.
Didn't we already do it once?
You just read the whole thing, didn't you?
I just read the whole thing
Right.
and you said yeah.
Yeah.
And
We were
But
just
this
gonna
time,
make you
let's
do
say
it.
yes, though. So who does this, Christy?
why are you looking at me? I've already read
I
it.
think
You have to.
You're
It would have
the-
been typically me, but I'm up for reelection. So,
Oh, okay.
So it should be probably Greg.
Yep.
All right, then I,
Nettie
I,
Perla,
Ryan Munson,
who has been duly elected to the Board of Education
who has been duly elected to the Board of Education
of
of
the School District of Clear Lake,
the School District of Clear Lake,
but have not yet entered
but have not yet entered.
but have not yet entered
upon the duties thereof,
upon the duties thereof,
swear
Swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my abilities.
So help me
God.
God.
Okay.
Do I have to sign this one, or?
I have,
you
these
guys-
are the official ones, so.
God, no, sir.
Yeah. It's another waste of paper.
I don't know.
It's recycled
Right,
anyway.
down.
Sign it.
You have one for me to sign too, Josh, or should I do this one?
You'll sign this one.
Not in pencil.
What is today,
Oh, you
8?
got to date it too, Greg.
Yep. You can just sign it if you want. I can take care of it. Alright.
Okay. Well, you guys, welcome to the board. So now we will reorganize it. And I will leave that open for anybody's suggestions.
I think we should leave it the way it is.
I really like my spot.
Did you feel the glare coming right at you? Now do you feel
I can
okay?
take
I'm okay.
treasurer. Yeah, that's just, I'm here, so it's easy to get here to do the work.
Thank you for that too, by the way.
I mean, somebody needs to take clerk.
Well, I guess we'll swap. Unless Skip wants it.
Skip's VP.
I'm
He likes
fine with
running the
whatever.
meeting.
Okay.
Everybody good?
So what are we doing?
So-
The girls are swapping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ladies are swapping.
Sorry, the ladies are swapping.
Okay. So then, we'll move on to our superintendent notes.
Okay.
Mr. Ernst.
All right. Some stuff in the past. We've spring sports are among us. All the practicing has started. We've only had one game of softball. No baseball, golf, or track yet. But
Isn't
we.
baseball
going on
tonight.
right now?
And
I'm sorry.
softball.
Yep. Baseball is tonight. So as of
No finish games in the
no
back.
finish
I'm like,
games. There you go.
We're all
They'll get
ready to
one
go.
day of nice games in
Yep.
here this week.
We've had at the elementary, we've had the Ford exams taking place here. Excuse me, we've had the ACT, so a lot of testing going on in both buildings. Kind of noteworthy accomplishments we've had the Mary Jo Nettesheim winners. We had 3 individuals that won that. We had Haley Zoff, CJ Ritterpush, and Hallie Carlson. And we have some upcoming stuff. We have track tomorrow in Baldwin. Fingers crossed. Track tomorrow and Thursday. Fingers crossed. And track on Saturday in Superior, and that's also fingers crossed. So we'll see how the weather.
Superior might not get snow.
Track on Thursday?
Yep, in Flambeau.
Okay.
So then we have some stuff in the district going on next week. The week of the 15th, we have no school on the 18th and 19th, and then that following Monday, the 22nd, we have no school. So we have that going into Easter break. And then I'm not even gonna go with any of the spring sports that potentially could happen, because I feel like it's just like herding cats with different things chasing. So again, I a lot of thanks to Mr. Rosine with the scheduling, a lot of communication between districts happening to get those things set up in order to make sure that all of our kids have a good a spring sports season. That's not easy, and that's a season where it's already compromised by weather, and then you're looking at just a tough time of year with all the different things going on in individual buildings with testing and graduations and awards and all that stuff. So not an easy season to be an AD in. So and then the week of the 22nd, we have Earth Day or Service Learning Day on the 24th, which is always a neat day to be a part of, and a lot of things happening in the community, in the district, and in the community. So, and those things, and that's a huge thank you to Mr. Gillis and Mrs. Tronstead
I gotta give it to Ms. Johnson.
for organizing that.
She planned
That
it all. It was a
Yeah.
fantastic job for us.
from an outsider, sometimes it just seems like that stuff just is, just happens, and that it's just kind of what we've always done. But there's a lot of legwork that takes place in organizing that and getting people where they need to be, and more importantly, getting the students where they should be. Then also, we've talked about in the past, just kind of holding your breath and hoping that nothing goes south on us with everybody in different places. So, so thank you to both those 2 individuals for doing it. So that's it.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Ernst. The next item of business is the future agenda items. Does anybody have anything that we want to put on an agenda? The next agenda?
Just policies.
Anything else? No, nothing? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.